2021, 4 p.m. We'll start off by standing and saying the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to ask you to call the second invocation.
Let's bow our heads. Most gracious and everlasting Father, once more again, we come to thank you for your grace and mercy. We thank you for everyone that's assembled here today. We ask you to bless the individual and collectively and strengthen us. Lord, bless this meeting. Bless all of us on this council that we work for the betterment of Dillon County. All this we ask in your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, and the next thing on the agenda is approval of agenda. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
The second.
I second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. And for approval of minutes 1/4/2021 and 1/28/2021. That also requires a motion.
I make a motion.
Motion being made, is the second.
Second.
Second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, number 5, presentation, disaster preparedness, Moses Hager.
Mr. Chairman, I got some representatives here from the state, and Michelle and Mr. Hayward here, and I'll let y'all stand up right here if you want to.
Thank you, sir.
Make the presentation to the information.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Grant. I'm with the South Carolina Emergency Management Division. Myself and Mr. Greg Hazelton are with we're the regional representatives. We act as the liaisons between the state program and the county directors, including Dillon County. And Moses, as you're aware, has recently retired after many good, solid years of service. And the state wanted to recognize his service with an award, and thought this was the most appropriate place to, in front of his peers and friends, to present the award. So, Moses, you will hold that while I read the citation. For distinguished and meritorious service during the period 5 July 2010 to 2 January 2021 as Director of the Dillon County Disaster Preparedness Agency. His calm, personable leadership style established and fostered an atmosphere of excellence and professionalism while establishing high standards for the profession as a whole. His diligence in advocating the emergency management discipline for a new emergency operations center to support the citizens of Dillon County has been never-ending. His work in developing flood response plans for the county has been an example across the state. Mr. Hayward's tireless efforts to ensure efficient, effective response to the citizens of both Dillon County and the state of South Carolina reflects great credit on himself, the first responder community of Dillon County, and the state of South Carolina. And Moses is being awarded the South Carolina Meritorious Service Medal. So, thank you, Moses. Thank you very much.
All right.
Here's the official military document.
We appreciate you coming down here and presenting that to Mr. Hager. He did a wonderful job for the county. We just certainly want to remember what a good job he did. Thank you, Moses.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all. As part of my job that exited the retirement from the emergency management, I thank you all. I thank the county administration. I thank Lisa. Lisa and I have worked together for a lot of years. When I was on the highway patrol over 40-something years ago, I won't tell the rest of it, Lisa and I were working together. So it was good to see her again. Even this county, my heart, I grew old in this county. I came here, I was a young man, and we went through a lot of storms. Michelle and I and Jim and Greg. Greg came here to help me out when we had Hurricane Matthews. And if you don't believe, you want to go on a diet, you become the emergency manager and a hurricane is gonna affect your county, you in for Major Hewlett had to tell me one night, you need to go home and get some rest. So I thank you all. I thank the people in this county. I love people. I have a passion for people. I thank God for allowing me to work for 10 years in this county. I thank God for my new assignment, working with the Sheriff Department. So I am a blessed man. Same wife, 40-something years. Only 3 children with that wife. Same community, 40-something years. So I've had a good life. I've already retired from DuPont, 17 years and something with the state. So I've had a good life and a lot of good people, smart people like Michelle around me, helping me when I was in their trenches. So if it's a battle, I encourage Dillon County Council, this community, to make sure you put somebody in that slot that's going to be able to do the job, because it can get real chaos real quick. And thank you all very much. And if I can help any of you all in the future in my new assignment as a community relationship person with the Sheriff Department, just come to me and I'll make sure that we do what we can to help you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you for your comment. Number 6 on the agenda, old business, Inland Port Dillon Traffic Study Financial Assistance Award, DDA grant.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I don't need to speak up for this, but this is a grant we applied for last spring. We were recognized the need probably a couple of years ago dealing with the traffic issues that are associated with Wyman Gordon and Harbor Freight and the Inland Port and stuff like that. So we circled back around before pre-COVID, and we started sitting down with South Carolina DOT because we were already getting concerns about the traffic flow coming in, and now with quick trips coming in and a whole bunch of other industry development in that particular area. We recognized that we needed a traffic study done. We proposed it to South Carolina DOT. They recommended the program. We went to the PD Regional Council of Governments, made a presentation to them to be on the regional study. They unanimously approved that out of the 6 counties in the PD region. They approved us getting on this avenue. We applied for a grant through the PD Regional Council of Governments. Lindsay Previtt and I actually wrote the grant, put it together, and submitted it in. We got it approved. It's a $100,000 grant. $80,000 is coming from EDA. $20,000 is coming from the Tri-County Committee, which we're also a part of. They're going to make up the match. We'll be in the process of working with PDCOG to bid it out. The reason I put this on the agenda to get council to look at, of course, their approval, is that without this grant and without us addressing the issues with the Tri-County Park and with the development out there at 34, I know probably all the citizens here who've been out 34, when Harbor Freight lets out, there's a lot of traffic. And you've got Love's Travel Center on the other side. You got the Ports Authority. We've done some road improvements. But what this traffic study here will probably end up looking at, we'll probably end up hiring a traffic consulting engineering firm to come in and look at the traffic needs and traffic patterns of how to take out truck traffic mixed in with car traffic, to see if we can somehow 4-lane Highway 34 from Long Street, that's Highway 34 from Long Street all the way across the interstate to at least Hardin's Bridge Road. I'd like to extend it further, but at least I'm zeroing that part. But the amount of development is coming in at that point. We need to do this work today, because this is the most important economic development project Dillon County can do right now. If we don't address these issues right now and address the traffic flow issues that we proposed last year, even before pre-COVID, then we'll start seeing development go to other places due to the traffic congestion and stuff out there. So this project here will probably be the #1 project for development, for economic development for the future for Dillon County. Hopefully we can pursue this grant and get the funds to extend Highway 34 and extend the development out there. I know that we may have talked this a year or so ago, but I think we finally got this grant. But I want to make sure County Council realizes that this will be the biggest economic development project we have in the entire county ever, even with all the development we've got right now. If we don't solve this problem now, we will not be able to expand economic development projects in the future.
We have a motion to move along with this grant.
I make that motion, Mr. Chair.
All right, it's been a motion made, is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, under old business, under B, air packs resolution.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, all we need to do, the air packs are done, they're actually in, we just needed to approve the financing, which council had already looked at financing. This just says we need to approve a resolution for finance, which I've already approved. I just need a motion to approve so I can sign the agreement.
We have a motion to approve the resolution for air packs to the fire department.
Make a motion to approve this.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, 6C, detention center roof bids.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Tony Calder and Ms. Miller, Wendell Miller bid out the roofs a month or so ago, a month and a half ago. We need some repair on the old part of the detention center roof. Due to deterioration, actually the building's held up pretty good since we built it in the 1990s, and it's, almost 2021. But there's a portion of the roof needs to be repaired. They bid it out the first time, didn't really get the bids like they felt was comfortable with, so they rebid it out, and we got 4 people that bid on it. We had bids range from $6,900 to $123,000. The $6,900 bid they felt was not bid appropriately based on the material stuff that has to be done. So they got a low bid of $39,800 to Nunnery Roofing and Remodeling out of Sumter Drive, South Florida, Sumter. So I would recommend that Tony Calder look at
They
it.
bidding on the same thing, the same quality work and everything?
Yeah, the bid specs were sent out. Everybody else is pretty much in line. We had one bid for $39,800, one for $49,500, and the other was $123,090. So our estimate is, based on what our engineer was telling us and what we looked at, stuff was around $39,000 to $40,000 was pretty close. And so I feel good that the $39,800 is good.
Mr. Calder, you comfortable with that place?
Yeah, I'm familiar with a product that's called Hydrostock, and you put a foundation coat on it, a fabric on it, another foundation coat, and you come back with a finish coat on top of it. And he gives us a 20-year warranty on the product and a 5-year warranty on the labor.
That requires a motion,
Yes.
go with that bid, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we accept that bid, $39,000.
Okay. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Does that cover, what part of the building does it cover, just portion of it?
Just portion of it.
Portion where the judiciary center is? Is that where it's at?
It's B-Pod, it's the
Okay, that's at the jailhouse.
jail.
Yeah, it's at the
Yeah,
jail.
it's the jail.
It's at the jail. Yeah, it's not the judicial center, it's at the jail. So actually the old part of the jail.
Right.
And that first section and then new sections after that.
There are about 4 sections got to be done.
This is section, phase number 1.
Yeah.
Does that include all 4, or is it gonna be 41?
No, all of them except the new edition, F-Pod is gonna be.
Okay.
Well, we got a list right here where it's gonna be, what all. Wait a minute, I'll tell you which ones it is. The nursing clinic, administration office, the A-Pod, B-Pod, training room and kitchen.
Mr. Calder, did any of that fall under the insurance?
Well, they didn't do it because it's leaks from previous.
So we couldn't never get it insured, never been insured.
We tried.
Tried. And the worst part about, in the past, they went and patched it with asphalt,
Yeah.
roofing cement. All that's got to be pulled back up and then pressure wash, clean, and all that stuff, prep before they do this project.
So if we do that, moving forward, we're gonna insure that roof moving forward? We're just gonna leave it like that, so we have to go do the same thing again in the future?
I reckon we'll have a warranty on it where we show we repaired it there, so you ought to cover that.
Yeah,
because
sure.
we didn't repair it.
You got a 20-year warranty on one.
Yeah.
20
20 year
Comes with
warranty on
20-year
it.
warranty, so.
Man, gotta be pretty good to be back at work 20 years.
20 years on the time for another one.
Any more discussion? We have a motion, and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, number 7, finance report.
Mr. Chairman, I pinch hit for my staff, he's out, due to medical issues, but, yeah, I got to look at the finance report, it looks fine, there's a couple of departments that are running pretty tight for this time of the year, but overall, the budget is, so far it's in balance, we're about 337,000 revenues over expenditures. We still got a good bit of revenues coming in, through taxes and other ways that they're not, past January, and, so we should collect more money to March, and then it'll be delinquent after the March or February deadline. So we've got about 1.5 million in the bank so far as unrestricted, but I almost hate to say that because I mean at the end of the day, the fund balance and the budget and the cash is different. So the fund balance is over here, the cash is over here, so it kind of you sit down, what I normally do is I sit down and take this budget here and I project out what I think my revenue is going to be based on collections. And then I match them up with my expenditure is for. So my cash is important, but my fund balance is where I need to look at, where I try to go. But anyway, that, so far, by doing that so far, we're in line. I'm happy to report that the sales tax the local option sales tax is coming in better. So even due to the COVID situations, our sales tax have still held up. That was the main thing I was looking for compared to what was happening at the state level. But apparently it's holding up. So if it'll hold up here, we should be okay from that standpoint. We did make cuts in this year's budget. We did make some other cuts. So I think we're going to be able to hopefully stay within the budget.
Any questions? Okay, we're going to number 8, the ordinance reading. This is the second reading on the ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of tax agreement by and between Dillon County, South Carolina, and the company is known to the county at this time as Project Chariot, with respect to certain economic development of property in the county, whereby certain property will be subject to certain payments in lieu of taxes, including the provisions of certain special storage credits, authorizing the conveyance of certain land owned by the county to Project Chariot and other matters related thereof. We have a motion to pass the second reading.
I'll make a motion.
The motion's been made to pass the second reading. The second? Been second. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, 8B, first reading, an ordinance to postpone the reassessment of Dillon County properties, South Carolina Code 12-43-217.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we normally do some type of either resolution or ordinance. I did talk with the state myself personally with Sandy Hope, who's over that division. He recommended we do it by ordinance this time, which is no problem. We'd be able to have it as long as we get it done by June with the ordinance readings, we'll be fine. What it does is postpone the reassessment till this time next year. They'll have to reassess the properties and put it in the system, and you'll probably get notices sometime in March or April of next year of what the reassessment is.
So I would postpone.
Due to the tax assessor not being able to get the information to him through the time. Due to the tax assessor, he has to basically do the reassessment. They should have postponed it this time last year, but they didn't.
I thought we discussed hiring an outside firm to do the reassessment this time.
You can do that. Some counties do that, and that may be something that council maybe wants to consider. And if that is the case, then you're right. And what we need to do is get that firm in here or group in here sometime in probably March or April. Let them start getting it together between now and they'll have 1 year from today. to start getting it together.
So basically, no matter if we hire that group or not, we're still gonna delay reassessment a year is what you're telling us.
Because you would have to have all the values in between now and probably June to be able to get on the tax books and get it reassessed and get it in for next tax season.
How many years has it been since this property has been reassessed in the county?
5.
And the reassessment doesn't necessarily mean it goes up all the time. Some of the property could also drop.
That is correct. That is correct. And, that's a good question. And I think there's some clarification here, because I get a lot of questions over the last 20 years, is that due to Act 388, it was passed, a good number of years ago, probably 10 years ago or more. Act 388, basically when they passed the act by the legislature, I call it Act 388, it was actually passed by the state legislature, and sets the rules to do that. It's not by the legislature. This is for every county, it's not just Dillon, it's every county in South Carolina. Act 388 basically says that you reassess every 5 years. But during that 5-year period, when you reassess, for owner-occupied, especially owner-occupied houses, you can only go up to 15, there's a cap on 15%. So whatever your value is at that 5 years ago, going forward 5 years, you can only go up to 15% if it's owner-occupied, based on the Act 388, which dealt with the school taxes and that type of stuff. So the problem that you run into is you have neighborhoods sometimes that somebody had owned the house for a long period of time, and then somebody comes in the next day and buys a house right beside it, the same type of house, technically, not the same house, but the same type of house, and it goes on at a different tax rate. But due to reassessment, you can't reassess all the way up to that property based on Act 388.
So you saying should have postponed last year, but still we didn't do the work and postponed this year?
Right, it should be, you should have done it this previous year, should have been done this time last year. Should have been done, we should
That don't
have
sound.
been working on it last year this time until July or August.
So we have somebody on the county staff that's supposed to be taking care of these things. I'm not opposed to us hiring somebody, but we need to hold people accountable.
Yeah,
We
I
don't
agree.
need to be spending excessive money. We paying somebody to do a job and they're not doing it. That's kind of our job, or your job, to make sure that they get it done, and if they're
I
not, then
totally
we deal with
understand.
that before we start wasting money.
Through 6 reassessments, I know exactly what it's like.
Well, in essence, what this thing talking about is every property in the county, or is it certain properties,
Every property in the county will be
Reassessed.
reassessed.
as far as value, property?
Except, and you're right, and that's a good question, except the industry, which is done by the state.
Right.
The state of South Carolina sets the industry values for the industry. Now, you're right, all the other homeowners, rental houses, or commercial property is done by us. Right, by the county.
This is just first reading anyhow, and it'll take 3, it'll give 2 months. If we have to, I would go ahead and have first reading, but I'd also have a workshop sometime in the next few weeks. Because it wouldn't matter until we have the 3rd reading anyhow. But I would go ahead and do the first reading, and then we'll get.
Correct.
I'd like to have a budget workshop and sit down and talk about what we think we need to do in the future.
Okay, do we need to make a motion on that?
I would, I agree with Mr. Moody, is that basically, I would go ahead, just gotta have 3 readings anyway. It's not final till it's officially final, the 3rd reading, so that would give you probably a couple of months to figure out exactly what you need to do. You know what I mean?
We have a motion, then have the first reading, and we'll have a workshop before the 2nd reading.
I make a motion that we approve the first reading of this report.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Any more discussion?
Yes, sir. The finance, the community's gonna look at, did you say about where they at as far as the county? About how far they went and how far they got to go?
Yeah.
I mean, they got 12 months to do it.
Okay,
We need to see where we at.
okay.
I mean, if you give them 12 months, we certainly don't wanna wait till another year and give them 12 more.
Yeah.
2 years behind right now.
I agree.
Any more discussion? All in favor of the first reading, raise your right hand. Okay, number 9, a resolution approving the consenting to the transfer and assignment by Cuban Engineering Woods LLC to an assumption by Arkland Services LLC of a certain existing fee in lieu of taxes. A special source credit agreement to Worcester County is a party in other matters relating thereto.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, what, this project was our old project Craft, which is Hoover Engineered Wood Products LLC. They have decided to sell the building, which is the spec, well, I call it spec, it's not the spec building anymore. It's down there where Wyman Gordon is, down at the end where Harley's Bridge Road and Wyman Gordon is down in that area. It's the building that Marlboro Development Team built. Hoover Engineering Manufacturing actually purchased the building from Marlboro Development Team. They have decided, due to some of their issues, that they decided to sell the building to this company here, and Commerce has agreed to it. They've agreed to all the incentives we offer. They agreed to also all the clawbacks we've got in the process. So all we're doing is transfer from Hoover over to this company. They're still following the same guidelines set up by the state. The state's already approved it. We're
What
just,
is this company gonna make or do?
they're gonna make the same product that Hoover was gonna make, except they not only make the product for Hoover, but they also make it for other companies. So really, this is actually a bigger company. That's why I wanted to discuss, some additional stuff that they're looking. It's actually a bigger, it's a bigger company that does more of this type of stuff. So, SC Commerce and myself have gone through it, and I've seen no issues associated with it.
We have a motion to approve the resolution.
Make a motion.
Is second?
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, recreation request.
We got one request from the Dillon County Predators. It's an AAU football team with players from Dillon, Marion, Loudon, Lakeview, Florence, and Columbia. They won a tournament at Myrtle Beach, and they're asking for some help to go to Nashville, Tennessee to another tournament. Anybody want to contribute?
I give 50.
Huh?
I know I don't have anything in my funds, but I'm gonna make a donation of $100.
We'll donate. I don't think I have anything for it. We'll donate.
There you go.
Place 50.
I'll do 50.
Tracy,
I'll give 50, I'll say.
you and I'll work it out.
Huh?
I'll do 100 too.
That's all the request. That's all.
Is it a motion to approve the recreation request?
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Number 11, appointments, accommodation tax board.
I want to make a motion to appoint Jackie Thomas and Pat Larry.
It's been a motion to approve Jackie Thomas and Pat Laird. Any more motion? Is there a motion, I'm sorry, is there a second? It's been second. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. The executive session requires a motion for us to go into executive session. Have a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor, raise your right hand.